in terms of 1990, the media is reaching out to these groups as a kind of seeing them as an access to understanding the problems of the banlieue. Who were the figures that they were reaching out to?
So they would go to Sarcelles, for example, and they'd speak to members of the crew associated around Ministère Amer, who had developed within their work a very strong political consciousness using black power symbols and black power, the vocabulary of black power. So they had a strong articulation of what the social problems were and what the solutions were for those social problems. So they can easily be understood as representatives of a wider constituency. Or they'd go to speak to the people in around the group Assassin, who are very connect hip hop with a very strong leftist political form. So they have international connections with groups like Fundamental in London, where they're working out a sort of leftist, almost revolutionary politics. They're based in the 18th arrondissement in Paris. So they find articulate people that can speak not just about the culture but about the wider social context, and that's largely because journalists are struggling. You know, when they're covering an incident in La Banlieue, in the suburbs, they have no connections. That's not the world they come from. They have no easy way into finding the people they can interview or the people they can get a vox pop from, because often they're treated with a great deal of suspicion or hostility. In those areas, because of the theme that there is a continual negative representation of these areas. So I think they land on hip hop artists or groups, or those who might help them, who are facilitating them. You know, people who are running local youth centres or youth cultural centres, which will often be the spaces where they're given their first opportunity to experiment with making music, or they're getting access to equipment where they can make their first demo cassettes or later demo CDs and so on. So I think there is that phase when that hip hop is seized upon as a way of explaining a wider set of social issues and a wider set of social problems.